Birmingham for the second Southeast Region semifinal of the night. It's the number 5 seed Arizona State against the top seed Kentucky. Sean McDonough along with Bill Raftery. This should be a fun game to watch. We expect a track meet as both teams like to trap and run.
Rick Pitino's been known for that full court pressure. They also move the pressure points, Sean. They got the ability to go three-quarter and then feed you into that half-court situation. Everybody steps up ready to perform, but then as you spin out, they deflect to get some assistance and go the other way. Then they move it near the half-court mark. Here's the trap to read in the back by Shepard. This provides them with a lot of spurts. They're a team that can get healthy in a hurry. And the big guy in the middle is going to have to dominate. He's terrific going box to box, a great spin-out guy, has the ability to dominate. He's a very unselfish performer. But what makes him special, the defensive end. He can negate your attempt by getting it out or changing the next one to get Arizona State into the open floor.
Mario Bennett, first team all Pac-10 selection, joined in the starting lineup for Arizona State by Ron Riley and Quincy Brewer, the forwards. Jeremy Beal, Marcel Capers, the guards. Capers is the point guard, matched up with Jeff Shepard. Tony Delt, Andre Riddick, Walter McCarty, and Roderick Rhodes, the remainder of the starting lineup for Kentucky. Bill Frater in his 6th season at Arizona State after 9 successful years at Michigan. They're from Tempe, Arizona, the largest school in the Pac-10 at 42,000. First round winner over Ball State by 15, Manhattan by 10 in the second round. Meanwhile, Rick Pitino's team has had an easy time through the first 2 rounds. They beat Mount St. Mary's by 46 and Tulane by 22 to reach the Sweet 16. Dick Paparo, Donnie Gray, Frank Scagliotta, the officials. Kentucky in white. And Arizona State controls the tip as Bennett won it from Riddick.
And the Wildcats of Kentucky, Minuteman.
Winner goes to the Elite 8 here on Saturday to take on North Carolina. A 10-point winner earlier tonight over Georgetown. Bennett was doubled and threw it away. Shepard to Rhodes. Roderick Rhodes, 4-2.
That's their game. Get it off to D. Great double up, Sean, as you noted. There'll be a little woo-woo basketball. They both go up and down, both like the full court pressure. Good read by Rhodes.
And then Ron Riley got it back, but then it's poked away from Riley. Kentucky's won 10 in a row, playing with a great deal of confidence and flying from the opening tip. Rhodes, his pass deflected, but a travel call before the deflection on Roderick Rhodes.
We're going to see the ability to double on the big fella, and this is something Rick Pitino alluded to in the meeting with us. How he handles it is key. They're going to dive a cutter. That time it was Riley. More often it will be Capers to leave Riley outside for the jump shot.
These two teams force 21 turnovers each from their opponents on average this season. That's off a foot off Riddick. And ASU will play it in with 19 on the shot clock. 2-0 Kentucky.
They went man-to-man with a double. This time they've been in the zone, and they're going man-to-man on the inbounds.
Riley's been a very hot shooter in the first 2 games of the tournament for the Sun Devils. Riley has led ASU in scoring in the wins.
John, what impresses me with Arizona State, they're very patient. As Riley tees it up deep, he can make those.
And McCarty took down the rebound. Kentucky 27-4 overall. Delt, their leading scorer. That rattles out, rebounded by Quincy Brewer. In transition, Riley didn't get the shot to drop, but he did draw a foul from Jeff Shepard. That's the first foul in the game.
The ability to get down the floor quickly. And Rick Pitino's guys happen to do it, and so does Bill Frieder's team. The big thing with them, at least Arizona State, is they'll pull it back out if they don't have it, and they'll step and cut and try and get a touch to Bennett.
See, the tournament average is very impressive for Riley. He had 24 season high in the opening round win over Ball State, 21 in the second round victory over Manhattan. Shot 59% over those 2 games, 42% from 3. Kentucky leads 2-1. Roderick Rhodes, the bucket for Kentucky, a free throw by Ron Riley of ASU. Riley missed the 3.
against Kentucky.
Andre Riddick the dunk, and then McCarty went up to contest the shot.
Pretty.
Kentucky pushing the ball up and down the floor, and off to a 6-1 lead over Arizona State. Nearly 2.5 minutes in here in Birmingham, the #1 seed in the Southeast region. Looking very much like that in the first 2.5 minutes. Shot from in close, missed by Mario Bennett.
So don't run with the Cats unless you can tame them.
Riddick. It bounces off. Riddick got his own rebound and was fouled on the way back up by Quincy Brewer. And that's the first foul against Arizona State. North Carolina, a 74-64 winner in the first game here tonight over Georgetown. North Carolina will move along to the Elite Eight, and on Saturday they'll try to earn their way to their 10th Final Four under Dean Smith. They'll meet the winner of this game, Kentucky, and Bill Frieder's Arizona State Sun Devils in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1991, and in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1975. Frieder's done a great rebuilding job in the Valley of the Sun.
He's done it. Everything looks good at Arizona State except him. He's struggling. That's the best he looks at to be. Early in the morning, the hair's rumpled, but they've got to be extraordinarily good in their execution. I don't think you can just throw it up and give this club a chance to run.
Capers missed the acrobatic layup. Arizona State comes in at 24-8 overall. They finished 12-6 in the Pac-10. Good for third place. They haven't had a field goal yet. Dealt to the miss. Strong rebound by Bennett. Capers blew by Shepard, but missed a short one, and Riddick tipped it to Delk.
Great crossover move, but no finish, and they will do that frequently.
Delk got it back to Rhodes. 16.5 remaining in the first half. Kentucky 6, Arizona State 1.
Use the little post guys for curls. They straddle the three-point line and flash to the low box.
7 on the shot clock. Jeff Shepard, the pull-up. Wow. Some serious height on the leap by Ron Riley to go up and win that battle.
William Bendix never got up that high in his heyday. This is the life of Riley. Shepard very good in that 3-second area. Rhodes could have got tagged for it as well from the rear, but elevating serious case of the hops. Ron Riley.
And the foul on Riddick was his first. Jared Prickett has checked in for the Wildcats, wearing number 32, and Mark Pope, 41, is also in for UK. Arizona State has only scored one of its first 7 possessions, make it 2 out of 8. Ron Riley, the junior from Las Vegas, has all 3 Sun Devil points.
And Prickett, who can bring it up in the back, very sound underneath, to become a good offensive performer under the glass.
Rose looked like he was bumped by Veal. Kentucky will inbound after this.
There's a timeout on the floor with 15 minutes, 44 seconds remaining to play.
Would you look at that? Good with an iron. Plays right to left.
It's on your mind, it's on our cans. The Michelob Golfers 18-pack.
Cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers. Pants so soft, they shrug off wrinkles.
To honor and obey.
The Mazda 626 was designed to be stable at speeds up to 125 miles per hour. With an available V6, front-wheel drive, and dual airbags.
To honor and obey.
So even at 55, you can feel secure knowing you've made the right decision. Now the decision is even easier. Lease the Mazda 626DX for just $199 a month with $1,000 down.
It's a breakthrough that brings us to a new level of performance. In the rain, in the snow, it even saves gas. Michelin's new energy tires with radial XSE technology. It's science that goes beyond magic.
Did I give you permission to sneeze, open?
He can talk the talk.
Bleep, 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 what are you laughing at?
But wait till you see him walk the walk.
I've been known to cut a little rug.
Damon Wayans, Major Pain, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
Michael Douglas.
I am the solution to your problems.
And Andy Garcia track a killer to Japan.
There's a war going on here.
Black Rain Monday contains some violent scenes.
6-3 Kentucky with a 3-point lead out of our first timeout of the night. Rick Pitino, 42 years old. Seems like he's been on the national stage forever. Became a college head coach at Boston University when he was 25.
You knew he was in trouble when Boeheim sent him on his honeymoon to look at a kid. I think it was Louis Orr. So you knew he was a junkie early in his life as he get at the poke on the box.
Cricket a miss, and Antoine Walker, who's played very well lately, wearing number 24, is also in for Kentucky. Kentucky, a deeper team. Arizona State only goes about 7 deep, and Rick Pitino has 9 players who have appeared in every game this year.
And he can't believe what great shape. And here's the double.
Riley with 15 on the shot clock. Didn't get the bounce. Quincy Brewer in traffic. He didn't get the bounce, but he'll shoot 2.
And that's the type of basketball that Bill Frieder was harping on. If Bennett gets it, let's get it to somebody other than Marcel Capers. That time they got it to Riley. Like a dirty tennis ball, that head there. And the activity brought Pitino's ire here is he didn't like the checkout or the position. But they have 4 perimeter peoples in the center, 4 around 1, Arizona State, and they're very active and quick and elevate in a hurry.
2 shots for Brewer, only a 35% free throw shooter for the year at 20 out of 57. And that's a weakness of this team. They're 62% collectively, worst in the Pac-10.
Well, if you want a free line, shoot Brewer or Bennett. Free throws. He struggles as well.
Those two really dragged the percentage down. Bennett's at 49% for the year.
Antoine Walker, a great offensive player. Rick Pitino's brought along beautifully. Going to be a great performer in the SEC. SEC MVP in the tourney as well.
You sense that Arizona State has done a nice job of contending with that early surge. The emotion with which Kentucky was playing out of the locker room. Pope has it rattle out into the hands of Bennett. Capers distributes the ball, doesn't shoot very much, and he passed off to Brewer, who drew another foul on the way in.
Now, I saw this team in Maui, and Marcel Capers impressed me. He's a sound guy, doesn't get a lot of notoriety. That particular play was typical of him. Get it into the middle and make a good judgment. Head up, see it all. They complement with a good run on the wing, and you can just see draw that dish and get to the line.
They called that on Prickett, who looked like he had the ball from behind. Those of you who will be watching Maryland and Connecticut in the second West Regional semifinal tonight, tip time is 10:45 Eastern, and we'll get you out to Oakland in time for the start of that one. Brewer missed both, but was able to run down the miss. Prickett got a hand on the pass. It's 6-4 Kentucky, 5.5 minutes played.
And Sean, they wait for Bennett too. They set some nice things that he can make the deep one here. He passes and gets to the box.
Bennett tried a 3. Walker skied for the rebound.
Oh, didn't need that pass, got away with it.
Dealt.
Epps with a football kind of a look, huh? Took a gamble.
The former standout high school football player in Kentucky held ball as Bennett went up. Alternating possession, it'll go over to Kentucky with 13:56 remaining in the first half.
Replacing number 25, Anthony Epps.
Done it a few places, that youngster. VU, Providence. He's king of Kentucky. Long live the memory of Adolph Rupp, but Pitino sort of carving a niche for himself.
He's won at least 22 games each of the last 5 years. Says it's easier now to recruit at Kentucky. Of course, they were on probation at the beginning of his stint. Dell fouled by Isaac Burton, who's come in off the bench for Bill Frieda.
You just took a shot of Rick Pitino, and preparation and teaching are his trademarks. They bring everybody up, bare the backcourt. The home run look gives a great opportunity for Tony Delk, the near save. But that's the kind of lapse that can hurt you. The routine that can put you away quickly. A little left, a little right, some quick scores, and get something off their press.
Delk to shoot 2. The rims are not being kind to either team in the first 6 minutes plus. Kentucky's 0 for 3 from the line. Delk's a junior from Brownsville, Tennessee. Her hometown is Tina Turner.
You enjoy those sounds, I'm sure.
Arizona State 1 out of 10 from the floor, but only down 5. And a carry called against Burton. Third turnover by ASU.
Now on the open, we showed that deflection. That's the press. It never stops. It keeps going all the way into a rush shot and then the rebound.
Chris Harrison, one of only 2 seniors on this Kentucky team. Andre Riddick is the other. Harrison is checked in for Delk. Rick Pitino said it was difficult to recruit early on with the probation hanging over Kentucky. Said the image was tainted a little bit, but it's a lot easier now. In the ensuing years, you'll see many more Kentucky players drafted. And he thinks the best times in Kentucky are ahead under his leadership. Jeremy Veal back in, and Ron Riley departs for the Sun Devils.
I see how deep that high-low is. I mean, they move everybody out. Give the center a chance to go to the glass on that lob pass. You know, your thought on them coming back, they got the youngster Wayne Turner coming now, a great prospect. Antoine Walker's going to inbound the basketball for Kentucky, a guy with great talent, a McDonald's All-American. Nothing but superlatives on the offensive end for him.
Harrison's a good 3-point shooter. Here's Walker. Freshman from Chicago, had it rejected by Bennett, who set a Pac-10 record this season in blocked shots. That's number 114 of the season.
Well, was it Marvin Webster was the human eraser? Well, this guy's had a few number 2 pencils in the interior defense.
Rickett got it into Walker, and Walker followed up his own miss. Antoine Walker came of age in the SEC tournament. He was the MVP at a career-high 23 in a dramatic overtime win in the championship game against Arkansas.
And Rick kept saying, oh, how'd you get the MVP in the SEC? Get it inside. They did.
Field missed a 3, but followed his miss and kept it alive for Bennett.
Well, this defense, I think, is to keep Bennett out of the game a little bit. You notice he's drifting to the wing. He won't get as many touches down on the box.
James Bacon is checked in, wearing 0-0 for Arizona State. Veal for 3.
Sounds like a culinary school you're describing. Capers to Veal.
And they have Bacon. They also have Brewer. And Isaac Burton's nickname is Ice. So you get a Brewer and Ice. You have a cold beer with Veal, Capers, and Bacon. Getting hungry.
You notice, too, the distribution as you went through the names. A lot of touches. They are sound in their half-court set. Everybody gets a chance. They usually take good shots, make good judgments. So watch out for the home run again on the baseline. Nobody back.
And that's what Prickett goes for. Rhodes saved it, but threw it past Delk. Bacon collects, and Arizona State has struggled out of the box, but they're only down 4, 7.5 minutes in. For 3, Riley, and it's a 1-point game.
They can get after people in the full court just like Kentucky. Here comes the double with Riley.
Rhodes found a seam and lays it in.
They beat Alabama during the year with a 2-3 zone. They've slipped it in there on a few teams this year.
against Arizona State at the moment. 20 to shoot for the Sun Devils. Bennett almost got deflected in. Riddick deflected a pass from Bennett intended for Bacon, and it hit the rim. The pull-up for three, Delk.
Just used the pick beautifully. He's got some range.
At the other end, Beal fired up an air ball, and he thought he was hit on the arm. Riddick runs the floor.
One of their spurts, Sean. Get it going quickly.
Andre Riddick has 4 points. He only averages 4.6 per game. And all of a sudden, the UK lead is 8. Make it 5. Riley drains another 3. He has 9 for the Sun Devils.
And Arizona State, instead of depressed, forgetting about the backcourt.
Great play made by Riley.
Heads-up play here.
Beal. Air ball from three-point range. And out of the pile, Riley. Tough pass. Riley tried to feed it through 2 defenders. And Arizona State will inbound after this.
In the Mazda Millennia, you'll find out what a luxury car costs when you're not asked to pay for a luxury division and all that overhead. The $26,000 Millennia from Mazda. They say money will go farther in the new Millennia, and apparently it's true, because you can lease one for just $349 a month and $1,000 down. The new Millennia from Mazda.
Any insurance agent knows lightning can strike any day. Fortunately, your Allstate agent knows it can strike any night, too. So if it does, you can call your agent anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A claims specialist is standing by to help you right away. If your insurance can't deliver claim service day or night, in a flash, maybe you should switch. You're in good hands with Allstate.
You've got the winning color.
My dad changes the oil in our cars, and he's always used Pennzoil. His car has over 300,000 miles on it, so if it's done that well for him, then that's what I'll use in my cars.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts, works like liquid ball bearings.
If I have a problem with one of my cars, I usually call Dad.
Pennzoil, proud official NCAA corporate partner.
So come on, baby. Squeeze me tight. Well, don't you want your baby to be alright? Baseman say, oh, you really think, yeah. Come on, give me that love. All I need is that love. Good love is baby.
I think it separates the good players from the great players. The great players are there to take those shots.
The shot. Yes!
Doritos presents Inside the Games with Michael Jordan.
Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama, site of Southeast Region semifinal action. North Carolina winner here earlier tonight over Georgetown. Kentucky leads Arizona State by 5. Bill Frieder, the architect of the turnaround of this ASU program. He gets a lot of help coaching the team, not only from his assistant, but also from his wife, Janice, who is the daughter of a longtime high school basketball coach in the state of Michigan. And Janice is here tonight, along with Frieder's daughter, Laura. Delk off glass for 2.
You got to get back and get out on them. They break you down individually. Spend a lot of time, more than most clubs in the country, on individual preparation.
Delk has 10 of the 20 Kentucky points, and midway through the first half, the Wildcats lead by 7.
Flashing high beautifully. It's just they can't get that high-low look.
Bacon missed a wide-open shot, and the officials are going to confer on this call. Frank Scagliotta said it was out off Shepard, and Dick Paparo changed him. And Bill Frieder has walked all the way out to the midcourt line.
Just to assist. You mentioned Bill and Janice. They have separate parts of the house built in because of his terrible sleep habits. So he keeps them, that's a good reason for successful marriage, too, I would guess. But he does not sleep. He's nocturnal, always looking at tape.
Rhodes, and it blocked. Riley came away with it after Bennett got a piece. And it's out of bounds. Arizona State will play it in with 9:28 left in the first half. 20-13, Kentucky has the lead.
Pick your wallet clean. They run down the floor. They're looking to deflect and kick it to one of their teammates.
Brewer gave it to Capers. They're on the floor with Bennett, Riley, and Burton. Count the bucket. And Rick Pitino's irate at Dick Paparo.
Well, that's one. He got bumped all the way. Ricky pleading. And right here, how to beat a double? Well, he's tired of kicking it out. Look at the arm protecting the kiss. Rewarded. And he's got a little juice to his game, too. Scored the goal.
And the foul on McCarty, his first. So Bennett, just a 49% free throw shooter. Gets a lot of chances. Set the single-season ASU record in attempts this year. With 226, he missed, and they're now 2 of 7 from the line. But they got it back, and Burton missed the three. Rhodes the board.
Bennett can run the floor. You saw him handle. Rick Pitino thinks it's going to be a nice power forward.
Delk on fire, and he's still sizzling. That's a three. He has 13. Delk first team all-conference in the SEC this year was Riddick, who intercepted the lob intended for Bennett. Shepard bumped by Capers.
Look a little like Rex Chapman, his hero as well. A little aggressive move to the goal. He can get up.
Well, he spoke of Janice Frieder, the wife of the ASU coach, and she's with Bob Lobel. Bob?
Sean, thank you very much. Bill, of course, is listed as the coach, but the real power behind the throne is sitting alongside Janice Frieder. What especially aggravates you, I understand, is the three-point shot against your coach.
Not defending the three. That's what bothers me, when they don't defend the three.
And you're not shy to tell him that either.
Absolutely not.
Alongside of you is your daughter, Laura. Laura, one of the interesting things, you picked Kentucky in your pool, didn't you, for the NCAA?
I don't think I'm allowed to say that.
But it did happen, didn't it?
At first, however, coming into the game, I have a good feeling.
Okay, well, good luck to both of you, and I hope your husband's listening as far as you're concerned for those three-point shots, Janet.
Thank you. I hope they just work hard and have fun.
Good for you. Sean?
Thank you. There's actually an interesting related story. Coming back from a game not too long ago on a flight, Janice was so upset about the lack of defense against three-point shots by their opponents in New Mexico that she was up in the first-class cabin giving Bill an earful about it. Laura, the daughter, went back to Doug tomorrow in the coach section, said, "You want a seat in first class? I really don't want to sit up there anymore because my mother's giving the coaching staff heck about not defending the three."
Too much second-guessing going on. She's told writers to ask him why he didn't put so-and-so in the ball game. The character, and the daughter's a great equestrian performer as well.
State champion in show jumping. And that did not draw any iron. The shot for three from Burton, and a shot clock violation with 8 minutes left in the half. And Frieder's team down 8.
What's impressed me is the change in his theory from Michigan. He said he had great talent at Michigan, didn't have as much of a freewheeling, pass and cut type of mentality. But I also think George McQuarrie, who's alongside of him, has had a great impact. Former coach, he defers to him at times in practice, which tells you the comfort zone that Bill Frieder has.
George McQuarrie spent 8 years as head coach at Cal State Fullerton. Rhodes bumped as he started to drive, fouled by Riley, his first. We'll return to Birmingham in a moment.
Field goal number 32, Ron Riley.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
Yes, sir!
Final call.
We've got to move fast, Kirby. I hope your book hurts.
Not exactly, but this company's fast.
As fast as Hertz #1 club goal?
Not exactly, but they do have a special place to pick up the car.
Like Hertz?
Not exactly, but it'll be waiting.
Under a canopy?
With the keys in it?
Not exactly.
And protected from the weather?
Not exactly.
In Rent-A-Car, there's Hertz and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
Counting on that promotion, Kirby?
No, not exactly.
You never know when you'll come face to face with a regular-looking phone wired to a no-name company. Will you and your card be rejected? We're sorry. Will your call cost a lot more than you think? How can you be sure you'll get AT&T and get through at a good price? Know the code. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
For card calls, you'll always get AT&T's best deal if you know the code. Dial 1-800-CALLATT.
And you'll never worry about no-name phone company charges again.
Your true voice.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me. And there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
What a great day to buy a car.
I thought the days of women being treated differently than men were long gone.
This is the vanity mirror so you can check your makeup.
Then I tried to buy a car. Something reliable.
It's safe.
Sporty.
How much you looking to spend?
I want to spend about $12,000.
Rich can help you out. I'll be back to you soon, okay?
When I got to Saturn, Dave Pierce took the time to answer all my questions. Not only did I buy a Saturn, I thought it might be fun to sell them. You know what I like best about working here? Showing guys the vanity mirror.
You are watching the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
Kentucky leads by 8, matching its largest lead. Tony Delk has 13 of the 23 Kentucky points. The Wildcats hurting ASU in the paint. And Kentucky a perfect 2 for 2 from behind the line. Arizona's made 3 from beyond the arc.
And solid contribution in shot selection by Delk. And also they drag you away from the basket. They've got ample room in their spacing to do some damage.
Some of you will be leaving us in about 5 minutes for the tip of Maryland and Connecticut. West Regional semifinal action. As McCarty was in possession of the ball, Veal hit him. That's the first on Jeremy Veal, a freshman from San Dimas, California. 5 team fouls. Both teams been called for 5 here in the first half. 7:43 left in the half. Epps.
Fall asleep on the inbounds pass. They make you pay.
And Kentucky has its largest lead. Nice move underneath. Quincy Brewer to the bucket.
And Bennett hasn't had many opportunities. That time with a great dump down from the foul line.
And after the throwaway, Rick Pitino immediately gets Jeff Shepard off the bench. He was upset that Epps didn't give McCarty a better passing angle.
You're absolutely right. He wanted him back at least even with him. And here's that little dump down by Bennett. The zone has been effective in keeping him away as an offensive threat, but a nice look in the pass.
On the shot clock, 7 minutes left in the half. Kentucky by 8. Bennett double. Great pass.
They acted without the ball. Where's Pete Carrill? Has he been talking to Bill Frieder?
And it was Quincy Brewer, the beneficiary of the great work out of the double by Mario Bennett. Arizona State back within 6, approaching 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Riddick off the quick feed from Rhodes.
He was set up as a screener. The defender tried to help, and he slipped to the goal. Excellent read.
There are 13 players on the Kentucky team, and Riddick is the only player on the squad who has not made a 3-point field goal this year. Everybody else on the team will hoist one. Riddick's range about what you saw, in very close. Shepard didn't get the bounce, and Riddick went over Bennett's back.
And you mentioned Riddick. I was there senior day when he took those threes. They tried to get him on the scoreboard. But when you double this fella, he is a very unselfish guy. And Bill Frieder has designed dives to the basket, figuring that Kentucky would double. But right here, the screen, set, Dre, free. And that's what they nicknamed Riddick.
Capers in the game now with Bacon, Veal, the appetizing lineup on the floor. Bennett and Riley rounded out.
You take a American Express?
Riley couldn't get around McCarty, 13 on the shot clock. Veal, shot clock at 5. They got it to the right place, and Bennett scores.
How about the way he uses the glass, too? He reached back. Pope had done a magnificent job containing him. He just understands offense.
4 points for Bennett. Now it's 605 for the year, and that's an easy 2 for McCarty.
And Swan Walker with a terrific feed.
Wildcats by 8, 5:15 remaining first half. North Carolina, the winner here earlier tonight over Georgetown. The Tar Heels will meet the winner of this game Saturday here in Birmingham, the Elite Eight. And a foul call against Kentucky.
Rick Pitino, you mentioned earlier, was known for that pressing defense. They're also known for unselfish play. They run the floor beautifully. They'll give it up. They make you, or at least force you to get back and identify, or you're going to have some problems. I'd buy an old Studebaker from Rick. He talked me into it.
Chris Harrison back in. And Tony Delk takes a rest as Bennett toes the line. Isaac Burton has returned, as you saw, for the Sun Devils. Well, this is a part of Bennett's game that really needs improvement. You can see him backing off the line as he shot it. So many attempts, 226 free throws, but he only made 110. That's a lot of missed points for ASU.
And you're right, backing off is the first problem. Bending the knees and where he releases the ball the other. The stroke looks fine.
Doug Tomorrow, the basketball SID at Arizona State, told us it's almost always a 50% triple. If he misses the first, he'll make the second. If he makes the first, he'll miss the second. That held true on that trip to the line for Bennett.
Nice staggered double, and Pope's a good shooter, too.
Missed that 3, rebounded by Isaac Burton, the senior from Los Angeles. Drafted in baseball twice by the Cincinnati Reds, but doesn't play baseball at ASU. They're outstanding program.
And once again, you saw the cut. He's got good vision. They're giving him chances for the passing lane.
Delk back in. Then Harrison takes a seat. Now you can follow CBS Sports in cyberspace. It's a first from CBS on Prodigy and CBS on the World Wide Web. A lot of our viewers are enjoying that feature during the NCAA tournament.
High pick and roll. A little staggered double for Riley.
5 on the shot clock. Bennett missed from in close. Pope contested, and Pope wound up with the free ball. He's a transfer from the University of Washington. Shepard. And wound up in the lap of Burton, who was on the floor. Capers the push. And it's knocked out of bounds by Prickett, who is in pursuit. 3:59 remaining in the first half. Kentucky by 7.
9 seconds remaining to play. Kentucky 29, Arizona State 22.
In an era when doctors don't make house calls and shopping is done in impersonal strip malls, why does John Deere have dealers that still deliver, that help you with parts and service, and answer questions on lawn care? Are we behind the times or just prouder of the products we stand behind? To find out, why not ask your John Deere dealer? He's right where you need him.
Last year, no one showed. Not one maker of sports cars anywhere could step up to Pontiac Firebird Formula's challenge to match our standard dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and 275 horsepower, even at almost twice the price. And this year, we're still waiting.
Okay, I don't see much in here, just kind of flakes. There's nothing wrong with flakes per se. You know, flakes can be very useful when you're making a meatloaf or your bread and fish. Anywho, I'll give them a go. You know, just a little skosh, okay? Because I had the cupcake and the... Ooh, you know, hold on. They are, you know what they are? They are tasty. They are crispy and they are crunchy.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Oh, boy. That's a hoot.
Taste them again for the first time.
Sending an international fax. There's no telling what could happen to it along its way. Unless, of course, you send it with AT&T. Only AT&T has a unique service that goes along with every international fax your business sends. It's a service that'll help you solve just about any problem.
No, it's not the line, it's their fax machine.
So your fax will get there, guaranteed, only from AT&T, for the life of your business.
And now a brief message from the man you've made #1 in late night.
God bless you, America!
The Late Show, America's #1 choice.
Pat O'Brien and Clark Kellogg here in our New York studios. Kentucky leads Arizona State 29-22. I want to get a look in at Maryland and Connecticut. Just underway, Clark Kellogg. Connecticut leads 7-1, and as Sheryl Crow would say, this is going to be run, baby, run, right?
It's on the roller skates in this one. UConn off to the fast start. A couple of hoops have been scored already in transition. Maryland to counteract that, they have to establish Joe Smith inside early. There he is, doing work on the offensive glass.
All right, early on, 7-3 is the score. We'll have a live look-in at halftime. Let's go back to Birmingham, and no clown on the round there either, and Sean McDonough.
Thank you, Patrick, and thanks, Clark Kellogg. Your thoughts, you've seen a lot of Maryland and Connecticut. Your thoughts on that match?
Well, I think Connecticut has the kind of pace they like, and I'm sure Clark feels the same way, having done so many of their games. When you make them play slow, great look in here. Pickett as he held off Rhodes on the money. They're a team that likes that up-tempo, and I think Ray Allen needs a monster game.
3:15 left in the first half here in Birmingham. Kentucky leads by 7. And Shepard active on defense. He had the steal, then Riley fouled him, and that's 2 fouls on Ron Riley. We talked about the lack of depth for Arizona State. They're a 7-man team. Rick Pitino said yesterday, that's not a factor in terms of the up or down pace of the game because they're in such great shape. He said the only time it might hurt Arizona State is if they get in foul trouble.
And also, when they get to the half court, they do rest, generally. Now, they've had some good threats and quick hitters, but ordinarily, if they don't get a fast break or something off their press, they will use a little bit of the clock.
Pickett lobs it into Rhodes. Count it. And he'll have a chance for a 3-point play. And that might be the 3rd foul on Riley. It is.
Sean, the couple of years with the Knickerbockers, Rick Pitino understands mismatches, he understands fouls. Get a guy in trouble. He thought Rhodes could post up, jam in on Riley. Terrific read from the bench, and of course, if you get players that can respond like RR, then you got a little magic in your game.
There's some confusion at the table as to whom the foul was charged. It is on Riley. That's his 3rd. He'll likely stay on the bench the remainder of the half. 2:53 remaining. And Rhodes makes it a 10-point lead for Kentucky.
Too many people down there.
And Veal got caught in the trap of Delk and Prickett, and then Pope couldn't handle the bullet pass from Rhodes.
And did you notice some of the notes? The best playmaker award given by Rick Pitino was Roderick Rhodes. That was a little behind, but he does see the floor.
He's 2nd on the team in assists, 113 coming in, but he also leads the team in turnovers with 86, and he has taken it away again as Veal continues to struggle in the backcourt. Pope blocked by Bennett, but a foul called on Mario Bennett, his 1st.
Crisp, sharp, getting something out of their pressure. I mentioned a moment ago, too many people. You've got to screen well. You've got to exploit the defense. And right here, dribbling in traffic, you can just see all the people. Rhodes ends up helping. The deflection there, and they turn it right away into some sharp offensive.
And Pope will go to the line. Pope, an outstanding student at Kentucky and at the University of Washington before he transferred. Third-team academic All-American as an English major with a 3.74 grade point average, about the same GPAs that O'Brien and Kellogg carried. And we'll hear from them at halftime. Pope barely got the front rim with the second. The lead is 11 for the Wildcats. Their largest of the game. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half here in Birmingham. Bennett surrounded and had it blocked. Tough to tell who blocked it with 3 Wildcats around him. Connecticut now leading by 2, more than 3.5 minutes in Oakland. That might threaten the century mark for those two teams on the scoreboard, the way they'll go up and down.
They do like to woo-woo, and Kentucky likes to attack the low box. There isn't any room once Bennett catches it. Look at all the white shirts. The rim actually helps out, as well as Pope, Cricket, and company.
15 to shoot. And Arizona State without one of its best offensive weapons. Ron Riley, their second leading scorer, on the bench with 3 fouls.
There's no white smoke underneath, but Pope is very active down there. Right there.
Bennett took the feed from Capers and was fouled with 2 on the shot clock.
He is solid, though. I mean, he is fighting Mario Bennett, Super Mario, who's quick box to box and able to front him and deny the ball.
Riley on the bench with 3. That puts more of the offensive burden on Mario Bennett. You mentioned Super Mario, and Mario Bennett has a Super Mario character tattoo on his body. Tattoos the rage in this NCAA tournament. And there's Super Mario dunking. He says if he gets another one, it'll be Super Mario shooting a jump shot.
I've got one on my upper arm, too, you know. I have to reveal it before the tournament's over. You use it in the Navy, will do that to you. But Riley, remember, as they get the 5-second call here, they can't inbound it. Arizona State coming after Kentucky a little bit like Pitino does to the opponent. But remember Riley getting the 3rd foul. Pitino went to the box with Rhodes. It caused him to leave the game.
9 field goals this half for Arizona State, matching the number of turnovers the Sun Devils have committed. Bennett double team. Gave it to Capers. Down low. No basket. Offensive foul. Capers charged while passing off, and that's his 2nd personal.
The right idea. Just took 1 bounce too much, and well-designed play for Bill Frieder. Home run. They leave that backcourt open in a hole.
Might have been an intentional foul. Rhodes was behind Burton. He reached out just to grab him. Bill Frieder doesn't like the call. It was a good call. No doubt about it. He grabbed the arm of Rhodes, who had a step on.
And a lot of teams that they press against Arizona State don't have the foot speed of a Kentucky. I mean, it's an amazing ability to read the floor like this, and you can see the pull. Rhodes can go with the best of them, and a good baseball pass from out of bounds by Walker.
Rhodes, the junior from Jersey City, New Jersey, made the first. It's a 2-shot opportunity because it's the 10th team foul on Arizona State.
And Sean, his high school won the overall state championship, St. Anthony's, last week. Bob Hurley's guys, once again.
Bob Hurley, senior, the coach at St. Anthony High School in New Jersey. Roderick Rhodes, the all-time leading scorer at that school. They've had great players, including Bobby Hurley Jr., Terry DeHare. Here goes Roderick.
You take the low road, I'll take the high roads. RR up big.
Bennett answers with a slam of his own. And with 1:25 left in the half, Rick Pitino and the Wildcats of Kentucky lead by 11 at 39-28.
And he was furious. They go again deep. He didn't like the reaction back on the defensive end.
Hope Working on Bennett. Dealt, catch, and shoot. Bennett the rebound, a minute 10 left in the half. 7 rebounds from Mario Bennett. Capers not much of a shooting threat. Bennett hoists a 3.
He's got some game. The penetration that time again, Capers picked it up early and gave it out to the big fella.
12 for Mario Bennett. He averages just under 19 a game, and it's back to a single-digit deficit for ASU at 8 points. Walker the pull-up. Battle for possession, won by Burton. About 5 seconds difference between the game clock, which you see, and the shot clock, which is now at 27.
Now, normally when a team is revved up, like Arizona State is, where they press and push the ball, they don't run good half-court patient stuff, but that's their game, the half-court. They pass and cut very well. You would think Bennett will touch it on the box and find somebody that at least they can identify out of the double.
Steal, 3! And the Sun Devils making a late run in the first half. They're back within 5. Rhodes at the buzzer.
Oh, they keep coming.
And heartbreaking for Arizona State. They had some momentum. But the three-pointer by Rhodes makes it 42-34 Kentucky at halftime.
The all-new Mazda Protege has a remarkably big interior. After all, it's bigger inside than a Honda Civic, bigger than a Nissan Altima, even bigger than a 5 Series BMW. In fact, the only thing that's small about the Protege is its introductory lease price. The all-new Mazda Protege. Lease a well-equipped Protege DX for just $189 a month and $750 down.
It is said he is to computer software what Thomas Edison is to the light bulb. The software Bill Gates developed runs 2/3 of the computers in the world. And on the day he turned 36, his company, Microsoft, was bigger than Xerox, Kodak, and McDonald's. Where in today's world do you find companies capable of such astonishing growth? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
9 to 5. Nobody keeps those hours anymore. Breakfast is now the most important meal of the business day. But sometimes you need more than coffee to start your day. You need an important package. Introducing UPS Early AM Delivery. Not just by 10:30, but by 8:30 a.m. guaranteed. The business day may seem endless, but at least now you know when it can begin. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
AT&T True Voice. A Bell Labs breakthrough so advanced it's patented. One of 25,000 AT&T patents for technology. Some competitors say True Voice is no big deal, but 4 out of 5 of their own customers prefer it. Decide for yourself. Call now for a demonstration.
A Mountie gets his man.
You want to have sex?
But who gets the Mountie?
Excuse me.
All new action.
Oh, yeah.
When Due South returns next Thursday.
Kentucky by 8 at halftime. Pat O'Brien and Clark Kellogg will be along with Pennzoil at the half after this word and a message from your local station.
Hey, look, it's the new Pontiac Sunfire. Now, if you take yours dog sledding in the Yukon, all that interior room means, for once, your sled dogs won't argue about who gets in front. Or if you take your new Pontiac Sunfire zipping over to that pizza place, the sport suspension and high revving engine mean you'll really enjoy driving it at full tilt. Finally, a real set of wheels for around $12.5, the all-new Pontiac Sunfire.
Is Frank falling for Rita?
Come on, Frank, an idiot can see that you're jealous. It's obvious to me. Yep.
Spend Saturday night at The Office on CBS.
This is CBS.
March Madness, Kentucky style. It's showing up in driveways right now, and so are new Chevy Luminas. Talk about stuff. Lumina's loaded. All for just $269 a month. Test drive one now and get a March Madness basketball, no charge. That's March Madness. Getting basketballs and getting new Chevys, like Lumina, at your Heart of Kentucky Chevy dealers. Take a drive, keep the ball.
When Melbourne Mills Jr. opened his law practice 20 years ago in Versailles, he was determined to help injured Kentuckians get the assistance they needed when faced with uncertain times. Today, the Mills office is ready to help you through the maze of ever-changing laws and policies, so you can work on getting well while we work hard on your case. Call the Mills office at 873-8714 or outside of Lexington at 1-800-99-MILLS.
They live in towns like Fairfield and Danville. And while you might not recognize their names, our Teacher Achievement Award winners are some of the most powerful people in America. Ashland Oil and its family of companies salute them all, because it's teachers like these who have used the power of education to make a difference in the world.
Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, an official NCAA corporate partner.
Well, here we are, the only two people in America actually wearing suits and watching basketball games tonight. I'm Pat O'Brien along with Clark Kellogg. Hope you're enjoying the game here on CBS. Kentucky leads 42-34. There's another game going on in Oakland right now. Maryland and Connecticut, and Joe Smith has just been injured. He's on the court. Let's go right out there for a report. Tim Ryan and Al McGuire at courtside. Joe Smith, there he is on the floor. Let's listen in.
Those of you just joining us, you're looking at the sensational Joe Smith, who just made a sensational defensive play, but came down on the back of another player and is being attended to. It is 27-19.
Watch this block.
Huskies on top.
He skies, and there he goes, and the ref didn't see it. And once the Maryland got the ball, they were off to the races. Right here, Hightower. Well, they have the shot here. Here's the angle on Smith going down.
Fell over Brian Fair, it appears. Shot by Fair. A rejection by Smith. And yes, as Fair carried on, and that other Husky, it looked like he fell over both of them. Out of control and is still being attended to. It is 27-19. UConn on top. 11:27 to go in the first half, and Smith on his feet. That is a happy sight for Terp fans.
It's a motoring game, an up and down court. It's going to be a game of runs at the present time. It's been favoring the Huskies. But I look for Maryland to come back with their own run.
He saw his mom, Aletha, applauding her son, and happy to see him up, making his way to the bench under his own power. Huskies inbound it. Ryan Fair off the mark with a three. Marshall has it outside to Sheffer. Aaron Sheffer, star of the Israeli junior team.
Maryland's extending their defense.
Donnie Marshall, watched by Booth. Marshall's turnaround off the mark. Foul missed.
Too much body that time by Knight.
Travis Knight picks up the foul, his second.
Number 40, Travis Knight.
Tim, you're going to get a picture right now. This is what the Connecticut's doing. It's a 2-2-1 zone press. Looking to turn them over, looking to up-tempo the game even more than Maryland wants to run.
Kirkland King comes in for Donnie Marshall for UConn. Number 32, a sophomore forward from Baton Rouge. This is Rhodes. Johnny Rhodes. 27-21. Terps to within 6. King in the paint. His first shot is good. Fair, Sheffer up front, Johnson, Hayward, and King defending underneath the basket. Simpkins organizing the Maryland attack.
Huskies in the 2-3 zone. You leave the top open for a nice shot.
That's Booth. Keith Booth, the sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, Dunbar High. 4 points for Booth.
don't think you can keep Joe Smith out too long, because if you hit your back like that, the tendency is to tighten up. As long as his back's okay, they should get him right back in.
Eric Hayward.
Hayward, 45. Hayward.
A junior from Alexandria, Louisiana.
Here he comes, Joe Smith.
31-23. That's Lucas with an air ball. Foul called underneath.
Foul before the stop.
Foul on Johnson, Rudy Johnson, his first. Joe Smith back into the game. Let's go to Michelle Tafoya for a report.
Well, the Maryland team doctor told us that Joe would play through the pain. He is feeling severe pain in the right hip. That's where he landed. But as you can see, he's going to come back in this game and play through it. Tim?
Joe Smith, thanks, Michelle, a 6'10 sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia. Ollie rebounding for UConn. Kevin Ollie. Lee Allen off the front of the rim, and Booth trying to keep it alive. And it's going to be UConn ball.
All right, so with the score 31-23, a little bonus coverage for you there at halftime here, and your take on this game, Clark.
On the UConn-Maryland game?
Yes.
Actually, it's a game where Maryland is actually struggling to get good shots, and UConn just playing their game, Pat. They're just up and down, quick hitting, 56% shooting so far, and they've got it going all their way right now.
All right, we'll track the game for you as the night proceeds here. Earlier today, North Carolina advances. ACC is now 9-0 in this tournament. North Carolina beat Georgetown by 10, 74-64. Ed O'Bannon had 21 points and 8 rebounds. Tyus Edney was the player of the game, making the plays. UCLA advances 86-67. Hope you enjoyed Pennzoil at the half. I'm Pat O'Brien with Clark Kellogg. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.
Pennzoil at the half was sponsored by Pennzoil, an official NCAA corporate partner.
In describing the new Aurora, the automotive press has used some pretty big words, like panache and aplomb. And two of our personal favorites, out-coddle and out-cosset. So apparently, in addition to fulfilling your driving fantasies, the new Aurora can also do wonders for your vocabulary. It's your money.
The men's college basketball champion will soon be crowned in the Kingdome. But if you couldn't make it to Seattle this year, you can still receive a copy of the official souvenir program. Send a check or money order for $11 to 1995 NCAA Final Four program, P.O. Box 99128, Louisville, Kentucky 40269. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. This message provided by the NCAA.
Officiating is a very humiliating type thing. No matter how good you think you are or you get to be, you're only as good as your last call. And if you missed it, then you're not a very good official in a lot of people's minds. It's the only avocation that you have to start the first time out and be perfect and then improve from there on. When you got 10 people moving in a 94 by 50 rectangle at very rapid speeds, and they vary in sizes from, say, 6 foot to 7 foot and all different weights. You're going to have some contact. A lot of the big people are playing with their backs to the basket versus the smaller players are playing face to the basket, and they're moving towards you, and the big players are spinning and turning around and shooting jump shots and hook shots and that type of thing, and you have to move accordingly so you can do what we call see through the play. It is a very beautiful game, but it's a very physical game, too.
This message provided by the NCAA.
They've all had outstanding seasons. College basketball's players and coaches are rewarded for their excellence at the Van Naismith Awards Sunday on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Normally, your Oldsmobile retailers wouldn't interrupt a program like this. Very funny. But once you see the limited time lease offer on our Cutlass Supreme, the family sports sedan with a powerful V6, wraparound interior, and more, you'll probably thank us. Well, Stopping by before the offer ends would be nice. It's your money.
This is CBS.
Funny thing about March Madness, as more teams drop out, more friends drop in. Fewer teams, more friends. Good thing Pizza Hut has the March Madness meal deal. Buy any large regular price pizza and we'll throw in a dozen free buffalo wings plus a free NCAA tournament guidebook. Because by the time only 2 teams are left, you're gonna have a lot of friends. Free wings and a free guidebook from Pizza Hut. You'll love the stuff we're made of.
Get winning savings with RCA Championship rebates from P-Rents. Buy an RCA 31-inch home theater stereo monitor receiver with full-color picture-in-picture. Get a $50 championship rebate. Choose an RCA 35-inch home theater stereo monitor receiver with built-in component storage. Get a $100 championship rebate. Save on many other models, too, with P-Rents RCA Championship rebates.
Nobody buys for less, nobody sells for less. Nobody beats P-Rents.
Dairy Queen is introducing 3 nutty new Blizzard flavor treats and Breeze frozen yogurt treats. To celebrate, all flavors are just $1.19. There's the breathtaking chocolate almond,
I love this.
awesome pecan crunch,
I want one.
and tantalizing walnut fudge. 3 new nicely nutty Blizzard flavors join all the others on sale. Just $1.19.
Hot eats, cool treats, we treat you right.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of this NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, Mailboxes, etc., Goodyear, and by AT&T.
One of the landmarks here in beautiful Birmingham, the Jefferson County Courthouse. And that provides the backdrop to the score. Kentucky by 8, doing well in the paint.
Not getting the ball. Surprising people, they don't have a post game, but they flash in and do so much damage, and they concentrate on getting the ball inside. But speaking of hustle, Roderick Rhodes, some of my former players went out and got a hot dog on this particular play. Hustled, got back down, then decided, well, I've got enough guys that can play defense to push. And then the Strong send it in out of Jersey City and St. Anthony's. Aurora.
And his three-pointer at the buzzer might have thwarted the momentum that ASU was building. And Riley stumbled while accepting the pass.
Fortunately, he was on the floor. It would have been a walk if he caught it standing up.
He was fouled by Shirley McLean, who drifted by from another life. Riley, intercepted by Delk. 30 seconds played, second half. Kentucky by 8. They have never trailed, and they add to the lead. Unselfishly, Rhodes, who had 5 assists in the first half, gave it to Riddick, who now has 8 points.
Just terrific look, and that's why he's Mr. Playmaker for this basketball team, at least according to Rick Pitino.
Bennett doubled, and his pass out of the double was deflected. 44-34, Kentucky.
That was something else. Mario Bennett was on the floor. Riddick helped him up, and then he sprinted to the box ahead of him.
Largest lead for Kentucky, 13 points in the first half. They lead by 10, a minute and 20 seconds into the second half. Riddick fouled by Bennett, and that's 2 on Mario.
Getting into the middle, the shot chart said there were a lot of opportunities. Roderick, terrific, creating an opportunity for his teammate. And then down at this end, you notice Riddick shaping up in the 3-second lane. That's not good interior defense by Mario or others.
Riddick, the free throw shooter, senior from Brooklyn. He played with Jamal Mashburn on the New York City Gauchos summer team. A lot of players have played in that program, got on to college basketball. You hear the roar from the Kentucky fans. He's only a 51% free throw shooter.
Looks like he's shooting darts up there, and we can certainly relate to that. Down Gauchos, Riverside Church, two programs that turn a lot of great talent into the college arena.
David said he really did enjoy playing basketball growing up with an older brother who really pushed him into it. He's thankful that he did now. McCarty runs the floor and was fouled by Veal. Second foul on Veal. And two team fouls in the second half on ASU. The Sun Devils down 12. And it does appear that that momentum built on the Rhodes 3 at the buzzer has carried over. And Bill Frieder wants to stop it right now. Timeout, Arizona State. Back to Birmingham, Alabama in a moment.
Like all Americans, I like big things. Big prairies. Big forests and mountains. Big wheat fields. And everything else.
At mailboxes, etc., so many times the customer comes in and says, "Wow, I just love your copies."
A lot of times you can't tell the copy from the original.
The only thing I can tell people is check for the warm ones. Those are the copies.
We have quality copiers so they can get crisp, clear copies.
Mailboxes, etc. are the pros, and I enjoy the service.
That's why we're here, to help make your life a little easier so you can go play golf.
Depend on mailboxes, etc. It's not what we do, it's how we do it.
AT&T, this is Emily.
Emily, listen, my friend Doug told me something that shocked me. He said that he saves on calls to anybody.
That's AT&T True Savings.
Anybody?
Anybody in the U.S.
Because I'm not making any circles.
No circles.
And I'm not ratting out my friends.
No circles. Just sign up, make $10 in calls a month, and we'll subtract 25% off your AT&T bill.
Ouch!
It's true.
I want it.
AT&T True Savings. Save 25% to anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Your true voice.
For the first 6 weeks of life, the best thing for a kitten is its mother's milk. After that, her well-being is in your hands. You can give her everything she needs with Whiskas. A unique combination of chicken, tuna, and milk proteins cats need to grow on. Something any mother would approve of. Whiskas picks up where mother leaves off.
Are government laws out of control? He says his house burned to the ground because the government wanted to protect endangered rats. Eye to Eye returns next Thursday.
Sean McDonough, in our neighborhood, this was chippy hanging. As you see, Walter McCarty challenges the shot and takes off. Good reaction as Shepard finds him. He isn't able to finish, but that's the pressure they put on your team. Challenge the shot, take off, hope that somebody else rebounds, and then the good outlet.
McCarty made the first. Kentucky leads by 13, matching their largest lead. They've never trailed tonight. And they've now played almost 102 minutes in this year's NCAA tournament, and they've only been behind for a total of 2 minutes and 42 seconds out of those 102. They trailed briefly early in each of their first two wins over Mount St. Mary's and Tulane. They're not just beating people, they are throttling people. That's been the case all year long.
Not a good outlook here as they double Bennett. Couldn't find the cutter.
McCarty lays it in.
That's the pressure. You got to get out and run with their big guys. If you don't get back, they take advantage.
Arizona State still has not scored this half. Nearly 2.5 minutes played. They're down 8 at the break. And they're still ice cold in the second half.
And not a real attractive release either. Settling still go to Bennett.
We mentioned the margin of victory in the tournament, and that's really been the case all season long for Kentucky. They're pulling away again. Delk has 15. In the 27 wins for Kentucky, their average margin of victory this season, 22 points. They lead by 18. Back in a moment.
This is the inspiration behind Goodyear's newest AquaTread, the all-new Wrangler AquaTread for light trucks and sport utilities. 2 aqua channels sweep water away. you get the sheer rugged toughness of a Goodyear Wrangler and the outstanding wet traction of a Goodyear Aquatred. Welcome to the Aquatred family. The new 50,000-mile Wrangler Aquatred, only from Goodyear.
This is a story about us, all of us, about millions of people going in just as many different directions, and thousands more men and women helping them get there. You see, at Chevrolet, we've always believed that the whole thing is about helping people find that one car or truck they can fall in love with. That's why in the past 12 months, we've introduced more new cars and trucks to America than anyone. Every one a genuine Chevrolet.
The American business day has no beginning, middle, or end. You're up by 6 a.m. to talk to London by noon. Late Tuesday in Vermont is early Wednesday in Sydney. No wonder UPS created Total Track. Up-to-the-minute delivery information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You may never know where you'll be at any given moment.
Where am I? At an airport.
But you'll always be able to track your package. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
This isn't Hollywood. This is the Army. A place that prepares you to think, to act, to be a part of the real world. A world where change is rapid, where technology keeps expanding. By the year 2000, there'll be as many computers as people. So get ready for tomorrow in the high-tech army of today. Because we've already begun the 21st century in America's Army.
Hi, folks. I'm Tom. On the next Late Late Show from the hit show Friends, Courtney Cox, plus the woman who was raped but refused to become a victim. Coming up.
Sean, you don't feed Kentucky. What Mario Bennett has to do is dribble the double away to get a passing lane. This time he just jumped up in the air. You don't give them opportunities like that. Make them work a little bit.
Bill Frieder's used 2 timeouts here in the second half, and still his team has not scored in the first 3 minutes, and that's their 14th turnover as Shepard intercepted. Delks had a great night, but missed that 3. Riley had it knocked out of bounds, and it hit Riley last, deflected out off his leg, so Kentucky will play it in 13-0. The run for Kentucky that began with a 3-pointer at the buzzer by Rhodes at the end of the first half, and it's 10 unanswered out of the locker room to start the second half. Delk feels it, missed it, got the rebound, and the flush.
Not a good reaction by Arizona State that time. The timeouts trying to get some emotion into them, not reacting very well.
1 timeout left for Arizona State.
When in doubt, let Super Mario get it. Look at that quick move to the box.
And he had it knocked out of his hands. 19 on the shot clock for the Sun Devils.
Well, this is the reaction that I thought was tardy and lacking enthusiasm. See Bennett not wanting to foul, got there a step slow. They are a small team without Bennett.
And the lob, and Riley was fouled as he tried to redirect the feed from Capers into the bucket. Connecticut leads by 12 in the battle of the 2 and 3 seeds out west in the regional semifinal at Oakland. They're approaching halftime. Earlier out west, UCLA posted to a victory over Mississippi State. And the Bruins get the winner of the Maryland-Connecticut game on Saturday in Oakland in the Elite 8. Delk has committed 2 fouls. And Arizona State has its first point of the second half. Took them 3 minutes, 47 seconds to get it. Earlier tonight here in Birmingham, Rasheed Wallace led North Carolina to a 10-point win over Georgetown. It looks like that ankle is 100% healed the way he played tonight.
Well, I asked Jerry Stackhouse when they were out on the floor after the game, what's this guy going to be like with 2 sound feet? But making those free throws enables them to change the defensive look. They got to get some spurts going here. Make Kentucky rush shots, make some mistakes.
Well,
oh, he touched it. McCarty touched it. Walter at his revered altar.
They ruled that he did not, apparently, because they did credit the basket to Delk. And it's Kentucky by 20. 15:40 remaining.
Everything going their way, Sean.
Yeah. Well, the local papers Kentucky was a 14-point favorite in this game, and the Arizona State players made a note of that at the press conference, that they were offended that they weren't getting enough respect. And they've certainly had a terrific season that would make them worthy of respect. They're just having a tough time tonight against the deeper Kentucky team.
This, and Brewer gets the tag here. This Kentucky team, having watched them in the latter stages, getting ready for an LSU game, which was, they were as good as I've seen them. Rick Pitino's got them so emotionally into their defense, and it's spilling over to the offense. Terrific deployment. They're getting into the box. We showed that halftime shot chart, everything in the 3-second lane. How do you address the shooters when they pound it inside? I mean, it's a devastating look. They're not easy to defend against.
Arizona State has had 8 possessions this half. They've gone 0 for 4. Their only points on free throws. They're down by 20, trailed by only 8 at the break.
And they got the grab by Bennett down there. The duck in by McCarty. Good timing on the ball reversal.
Third foul on Bennett, and the 4th team foul against Arizona State in the second half in less than 5 minutes. Remaining. Kentucky looking for its 11th straight win and trying to pick up its 28th victory of the season. This is the 40th 20-win season in Kentucky history. The SEC regular season champions and won the conference tournament as well. They won the tournament title for the 4th straight year. Riddick. Carney got a hand on it, but it's collected by Bacon. The pull-up for 3, good for Isaac Burton. He was honorable mention all Pac-10 this season. And the fouls starting to come more often. Jeremy Veal called for the most recent foul. 3 fouls on Veal, 5 on the team. Mark Pope in the game.
I looked at Rick Pitino. He just took Andre Riddick out, and he's over there not happy with the shot selection. At this, you don't make every trip is put under the microscope. Both ends of the floor, and you better perform.
Pitino talked at length yesterday about the importance of videotape in this age and the use of computers, and how every single aspect of the game is broken down, put in the computer for tendencies. So he really developed that as the basis of his preparation and coaching while working for Hubie Brown. Has tremendous respect for Hubie as a preparer of a game plan.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
Yes, sir!
It's no wonder that the new Chevy Blazer has such humongous cargo capacity. The hatch opening itself was designed around the dimensions of a washing machine carton. Of course, you might not always need all that space, but it's nice to know it's there.
If you open me up, I swear you'll find the basketball where my heart's supposed to be. So if you want to sell me a basketball shoe, you better be able to tell me something about it. Like this is the lightest Nike Performance hoop shoe ever. So when I explode to the hole, the ground ain't nothing but a memory. Just give me the 411, man.
The new Nike Air Go. Get them at the place that has more new Nikes than anyone else. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
ท่าทางเหนื่อยเชียวอย่างนี้แหละต้องรื้อปรับระบบต้องหาคนช่วยเสียเงินแต่ก็ไม่ดีขึ้นใช่วะอย่างนี้ต้อง IBM เอ้ยงั้นต้องซื้อฮาร์ดแวร์เพิ่มสิไม่ใช่ IBM อ่ะเขามีบริการปรึกษาการจัดระบบเขาจะมาอยู่กับคุณจนงานเรียบร้อยเลยหุ้นผมขึ้นเลยครับขายเลยครับ
They test car batteries here. They test pickup trucks here. And when they test yard machines, they go here, Dave Spivey's house. MTD tractors, chipper shredders, lawn mowers, and edgers tackle the toughest jobs. Look for MTD yard machines at retailers near you. MTD.
Wow! I like it!
MTD yard machines, American-made, American-owned.
You are watching the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
Well, welcome back to Birmingham. Our score, Kentucky 56-39 for Arizona State. Great basketball team. Kentucky, great fans, those Kentucky fans. And this perhaps the greatest of them all. Bob Wiggins has been to, what, 577 straight Kentucky basketball games? Yes, sir. That's a pretty remarkable record. I want to ask you about this yellow blazer you have on. I don't remember that being one of Kentucky's colors.
Well, it is, but I got on the blue tie and the blue shirt, got on the Kentucky pin. And it's springtime, so I wore my yellow coat. I got a blue one to wear Saturday.
Well, I guess you're probably pretty confident about being Saturday, but I got to ask you, after all these teams and all those years, is this the best Kentucky team that you've seen?
I'm not, yeah, I guess. I don't know, really.
Well, if you don't know, I don't know that anybody else does, because you've seen it all.
I've seen them win 2 national championships, so, you know, it's hard to say what team's better than them. But this is a great basketball team.
All right, Bob Wiggins, 577 and counting. Sean?
Thank you, Bob. And thanks to Bob Wiggins as well.
A decisive Bob Wiggins.
Yes. Yeah, he had a tough time making his mind. He doesn't want to offend this team, but you get the feeling he doesn't think that this team is quite as good as others he's seen. He would know. That's a lot of games.
He may have won that yellow coat to that first encounter.
And that's every game, home and away, regardless of where they've gone. They've gone to Hawaii over that stretch of time.
And Pope comes down just a little bit prematurely and gets tangled up. Always teaching, though. Now, you knew him at BU, Rick Pitino,
yes,
and then he went out to Providence. He has tempered his way both with players and media. Not that he ever had a problem with media, but he's just much more relaxed.
A lot more charming than he was. Not that he didn't have a certain appealing personality, but I think some of the rough edges have been smoothed over the years.
Having been a Dale Carnegie reject, you're right on top of that.
12:43 remaining. Kentucky with the ball up by 16. Delk make it 19. And 22 points in the game for Tony Delk. He came in to tonight number 3 all-time in three-pointers at Kentucky with 182 and needs 9 to catch Derek Miller.
While the first half they leaked out, they found the open floor. They've taken advantage, and there's the unselfish play at the end.
Largest lead for the Wildcats, 21. Burton missed a 3. Bacon tried to get it, but Delk got there first. Rhodes. Under 12 minutes remaining. Kentucky by 21. McCarty.
Beautiful extension to the goal. But Arizona State relying too much on the three-point opportunities. And Bennett not busted to the ball like he was earlier. He's waiting on the other box. Here he comes. You can see the fatigue there. Beal without a good entry, and Mario Bennett unable to reach out and get it, and slipping a little bit from Bill Frieder. And right here, take it to the 10, big fella. He covered a lot of ground with those puppies. Well, they're not what you'd call a post-up team, but they get a lot of post-up opportunities. Real intelligent approach to offense.
Ron Riley back in. Veal takes the seat for ASU. This has been a great season for Arizona State, one of the greatest in school history, but they're in a heap of trouble tonight. 11:20 remaining. Antoine Walker gives Kentucky a 25-point lead.
He's one of those guys that doesn't need the glass on an angle that a glass shot would dictate. He's just a very confident performer on the run.
Kentucky is 10 out of 14 from the floor this half. 11 minutes remaining. Big part of the Arizona State success this year the fact that their team is fully healthy for the first time in 3 years. Bennett's had serious knee problems. Brewer missed a year and a half with a fractured kneecap. Capers sat out all of last year with a broken bone in his left foot. And despite those injuries to key players, Bill Frieder has had winning season after winning season. They've been in postseason play each of the last 5 seasons. And he's done a terrific job.
He builds confidence with his program, and he's lost some kids over the years. Had that Stephen Smith group that come in, Jamal Faulkner, and everybody expected great things, and they were solid. Faulkner, of course, eventually ended up at Alabama, but he's had to start and restart the program during his years there. But he's always been known as a great recruiter, and I'm very impressed with what he's done, particularly on that offensive end in being patient.
10:40 remaining. Epps now running the point. Walker leans in and missed it. And Riley came down with the rebound. Tino says Riley's the fastest player he's seen this year. They haven't been able to use that speed. Not many opportunities in transition tonight for Arizona State. Tino said that would be the key, denying ASU their opportunities in transition. 10:18 remaining. Kentucky enjoys its largest lead, 67-42. They led by 13 in the first half. Arizona State got it down to 5 in the final seconds, but Roderick Rhodes hit a long 3 at the halftime buzzer to make the margin 8 at the break, and Kentucky came out on fire in the second half to open up this huge lead. There's a 3 for Jeremy Veal.
And once again, the open floor. Jeff Shepard unable to hold. You know what Kentucky reminds me of, Sean? When you go to the schoolyard and you get one guy that plays you, you say, why don't you go play somebody else? There's no free outs. He's all over you. They have 5. And then they bring in their subs who are expected to do the same. And his continual growth as a point guy has made this team tick. Very unselfish, able to get into the thick of things with the drive. Jeff Shepard.
First bucket of the night for Shepard, the sophomore from Peachtree City, Georgia. Grew up a Kentucky fan despite living in Georgia. As a matter of fact, when he was in the 6th grade, he had to write a paper, the theme of which was, if I could fill anyone's shoes, I would. And that's Tony Delk. They're treating leg cramps. It's not considered serious. And Jeff Shepard said, if I could fill anyone's shoes in his paper in the 6th grade, I'd be Larry Bird, but first, I'd go to Kentucky and play in the Final Four.
And then he jumped into Rex Chapman as a guy he admired. And in a way, because of his ability to elevate, a lot of people would compare the two. Maybe not the deep threat that Rex was, and he can get up, and Rex is special when it comes lingering around the tin.
Riley with the free throw. He has 12. The lead 23-25.
I'm sorry, Jeff. You can hang with Rex, elevate, and send it in.
I think Larry Bird be envious of that elevation as well.
No Peachtree too high for him.
Shepard had problems with stage fright last year. Very nervous. And one of the offshoots of that was that they said he used to get too high on his jumper. Threw his shot on. No problems with that tonight. Epps lays it in. Kentucky pulling away. 4 points for Anthony Epps.
And unfortunately for Arizona State, you noticed Ron Riley got right to the rim and couldn't come up with the kind of release because they collapsed and attacked defensively.
And the Kentucky fans scattered throughout the arena on their feet. This is SEC country here in Birmingham. I think the last time the Cats played in this building was 1992 when they won the SEC tournament here at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center.
Well, this one excites you, even if you're not a Kentucky fan. I've seen him go from the foul line in like Michael Jordan. Come fly with me. Oh, he does get up big.
Out the bucket for Quincy Brewer. And Mark Pope committed the foul.
Kentucky foul number 41, Mark Pope.
3 fouls on Pope. Brewer at the line, sophomore from Riverside, California. He was a very highly recruited player coming out of high school. As a matter of fact, in 1992, he was rated the 2nd best recruit in the West behind Jason Kidd. A Long Beach, California newspaper, considered a top 100 recruit rather than just about every major national publication that has that kind of a rating service. Saw them tending to Delk's cramps moments ago, and he's back on the floor. Bottom of your screen. Here's the game summary. If you're a Sun Devil fan, you may want to turn away from the screen, as it's getting increasingly ugly for ASU. They've had the edge in three-point field goals, and that's been about it.
Mentioned earlier about where they stand on the floor. Look at the distance. So the defense, if they want to double, has to come a long way. They can find their partner. Equal distribution. A democracy.
24 points for Delk, who led the state of Tennessee in scoring his junior and senior years in high school. It's 38 points a game as a senior. That's a three-pointer for Ron Riley. He has 15.
He is a good player, by the way, Sean. It's been tough because of the defense. He's also playing up front. More of a perimeter guy, wing guy.
He'll be back next year for Coach Frieder as a junior. Delk had it deflected by Veal, and they couldn't save it along the end line. Brewer tried to, but stepped on the baseline. Halftime out west in Oakland, and Connecticut has an 8-point lead over Maryland. UCLA beat Mississippi State in the other West Regional semifinal tonight. Riddick returns for Kentucky. Pope and Prickett went out of the game. It's Rhodes, Walker, Riddick, Shepard, and Delk for UK. Delk fed Riddick, who was fouled by Bennett, and that's 4 for Mario with 7:18 remaining.
And that 2-3 zone started to take the fire, the juice, the life out of Mario Bennett in that first half. He wasn't comfortable receiving the ball enough so he could do some damage other than an occasional high post catch and look down. So he never got his legs due to the Kentucky defensive maneuvering.
Bennett has not scored here in the second half. He has 12 points, now 613 this season. Riddick, the free throw shooter, missed the first. Tomorrow, tip time for our first game out of the East for the Meadowlands, Oklahoma State and Wake Forest at 7:40 Eastern Time. You're wanted to CBS Sports. Memphis and Arkansas, the first game coming from Kansas City in the Midwest. Foul on the drive as Capers approach the bucket. Kentucky has shot 70% from the floor in the second half. Wake Forest and Oklahoma State in the first half of the East doubleheader at the Meadowlands tomorrow night. Tulsa and Massachusetts. How do you size up that regional?
I think how the Massachusetts defense guards Seals and company. That's a terrific backcourt for Tubby Smith. And Kellogg and Padilla and Treviso are tough guys on the defensive end. I think they have to control. Everybody always thinks Canby and Rowe, but their backcourt, I think, dictates how they're going to play game in and game out.
And that Wake Oklahoma State game was fun to watch. Duncan and Big Country battling inside.
And that one, I would think Tim Duncan lays off Big Country. He's got to search his body. Great shot blocker, and Reeves needs contact to know what kind of move to make.
Three-pointer for Antoine Walker. The freshman has 8. And Rick Pitino told us yesterday he's going to be the best player in Kentucky since Jamal Mashburn.
And I asked Jimmy O'Brien, I said, during the course of the year, you brought him along slowly. Has he found religion? He said, yes, he has seen the light. The Pitino, daylight.
Well, he was considered an attitude problem coming out of high school in Chicago, and Antoine candidly admits that one of the big reasons he chose Kentucky is because he needed the discipline.
And he's never shown any difficulty either down at the Kentucky program, according to the coaches. But get inside was the message from Rick Pitino. Screen, that's how you got the MVP. The high, Dre, Riddick, hook, kiss.
And he is 13, only his 7th game of double-figure scoring this season. He's played in all 32. The action tomorrow night in Kansas City. Regional semifinals in the Midwest. A lot of talk about Kansas playing close to campus at Kemper Arena against Virginia, and Memphis and Arkansas, the matchups. And Arkansas, like UCLA, squeaking through, but very dangerous.
They are there, and all of a sudden they may wake up and figure, listen, we've been fortunate. Let's get working, get perking. The other game, Virginia, it doesn't matter where they play. They're going to play the same stingy type of defense, and it'll be tough for Kansas. I mean, they're not going to be able to get the open floor opportunities that Roy Williams guys are used to unless they get a lot out of their defense. But then Junior Burrow was going to have a hard time with those big people, too. He's going to have to work hard offensively.
Well, the Wildcats are having a lot of fun now. Walker fed Riddick with a look-away pass. Riddick has 15. Maybe he'll get that elusive three-point shot tonight. Hasn't made a three. He's attempted some. He's the only player on the team who has not made a three.
Played for Bobby Bishop Loughlin, kid who played at St. Peter's back in the late 60s when the Peacocks under Don Kennedy did well in the NIT, beat Duke that one year.
Ron Riley is 17. He's had 3 very strong games for Arizona State in the tournament. They'll be glum along the Palm Walk on the ASU campus tomorrow as the Sun Devils season is on its way to ending at 24-9. Riddick missed the follow. 5:20 remaining. Kentucky leads 83-57. Capers, nice catch by Bennett. And he was fouled and will shoot 2.
You know what I love about Antoine Walker? His ability to get in the 3-second lane. Earl Monroe used to own that. He's 6'8", 6'8.5", and yet spins and twirls and didn't knock the shot down, but has a terrific feel in that lane.
We mentioned earlier the average margin of victory in the 27 wins this year for Kentucky coming in was 22 points, and in the tournament, 34 points. Their 46-point victory over Mount St. Mary's was a Kentucky record in NCAA tournament play, and their 113 points was also a school record for a tournament game.
He's like a teacher whose class never ends, you know. So I gotta get some recess, Rick. Bring him out, chastise, coerce, instruct.
McCarty rebounds the miss. 5:10 remaining. Epps, Delk, Rhodes, McCarty, Riddick. The 5-some for Kentucky. Capers, Bacon, Burton, Bennett, and Riley for ASU. Delk. What a night. What a night for Tony Delk. 26 points.
And you notice how much room they have to break their man down, too, Sean. There's not a lot of traffic around as they try and pursue the goal.
On the shot clock, 4.5 left in the game. Riley benched 14 games ago in a game against Oregon State. That really seemed to turn his season around. He's averaged better than 18 points per game since then. Shot clock running out. Capers short with a 3. Bacon had it blocked by Riddick.
Nothing easy against the Cats.
McCarty for 3. Rebound hit the floor. Capers and Epps, and Kentucky will play it in.
Kentucky sends in number 3, Chris Harrison for 0-0.
Oh, you think you got an easy one? Not so against the interior defense. This time, Riddick.
And many of the starters will undoubtedly have the rest of the night off. Delk goes to the bench with 26 points.
Now, the intensity won't back off. That's the difference. In most clubs, you get to the Pines, everybody relaxes a little. Nice back screen and the push by Bacon. Almost intentional.
He went over to shake hands with McCarty. Let him know it wasn't intended to be personal. Out west, UCLA, the winner earlier tonight. They handled Mississippi State with ease. They'll get the winner of Maryland and Connecticut. And regardless of who wins the Maryland-Connecticut game, that's going to be a great matchup with UCLA. Connecticut leads with the second half just underway by 8 over Maryland.
Good job passing the basketball, Roderick.
McCarty now with 9 as he makes the first free throw. 86-58, Wildcats with 3:51 remaining. Timeout, back for the finish in a moment.
Timeout with 3:51 remaining to play. Kentucky 87, Arizona State.
No trendy health club. No $60 shorts. No bull. Speed Stick. Its no-nonsense formula never quits. It works and works. Protects all day, no matter what. Speed Stick for 110% protection. Like you, it never quits.
By Menon. The most acclaimed movie of the year, nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Actor, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Picture of the Year.
That's a bold statement.
Pulp Fiction, rated R, now playing.
This is Red Dog beer. It's not ice brewed, fire brewed, and it's not some nursing sipping red. It's just genuinely good beer. Okay, there is one thing unusual about Red Dog. It's unusually easy to drink. Because it's bold yet smooth. Because it's made with the finest natural ingredients. Are you gonna like Red Dog? Yeah, we think so. But hey, it's your call.
It's a breakthrough that brings us to a new level of performance. In the rain, in the snow, it even saves gas. Michelin's new energy tires with Radial XSE technology. It's science that goes beyond magic.
To perfect the all-new 1995 Monte Carlo, we spent countless hours adjusting the audio controls. You see, Monte Carlo was designed from the inside out to be your own personal space, so every interior detail had to be in harmony. Paying attention to something as small as the texture of a control is what makes Monte Carlo seem more like, say, a $40,000 car than one that costs half that much. Which also makes the new Monte Carlo a genuine Chevrolet.
There's only one late-night leader, because there's only one Dave. Howdy! The Late Show with David Letterman.
Mine is a Dave household.
The one to watch.
Kentucky band hoping that they are on their way to Seattle. One major obstacle before they can pack their bags and head west. North Carolina. The two winningest programs of all time are going to go head-to-head here on Saturday for the right to go to the Final Four.
I guess KU and St. John's up there with them, not near as KU and Carolina are, but over the 1,500 mark.
This win tonight will be all-time victory 1,616 for Kentucky, second only to North Carolina. Their win tonight over Georgetown, 1,625.
And one of the few times Ben has been able to come in the afterthought of the break.
How about the popularity of Bill Frieder out in the state of Arizona with what he's done at ASU? He and Lute Olson featured on some very popular bank commercials. Lute Olson always plays the perfectly groomed, immaculate coach, and Bill Frieder always frazzled. He has a group of fans out at the University Activity Center that are called Frieder Fanatics. They come to the game dressed like Bill, blue shirt, tie undone. They spray paint their hair. But I like one of the most recent commercials with Lute and Bill, where Bill tells a plastic surgeon he wants to be the best-looking coach in the Pac-10. He goes in and has surgery, comes out, and the surgeon holds up the mirror, and he looks in, and he sees the likeness of Lute Olson.
He looks like the kind of guy when you drive up to a posh golf club, you say to him, hey kid, get my bag, will you? And that's the way he goes dining to services, no matter where.
Harrison for three. And interesting that Bill would make the move. Many people were surprised. He's a native of Michigan, a graduate of Michigan, coached there 9 years, had considerable success. 6 straight 20-win seasons and 5 straight NCAA tournaments prior to leaving Michigan, but he was tired of the constant scrutiny and the second guessing and criticism.
I think his snowblower ran out his juice. That's what I think. He wasn't a Michigan man. That's why he left.
That's right. Of course, the story is well chronicled, prior to the 1989 tournament, Michigan had qualified for the tournament. Bill Frieder decided to accept the opportunity at ASU. And Bo Schembechler, then the athletic director, that Michigan would not allow Bill to coach in the tournament. And Steve Fisher took over. Steve Fisher's one of Bill Frieder's very best friends. And Michigan won the tournament. Rattled off 6 victories in a row under Fisher. Frieder says he has no regrets, but he has the voice of Bo Schembechler ringing in his head sometimes when he heard, "I want a Michigan man to coach the Michigan team." Bill said he respected Bo Schembechler at the time for it, but lost respect later on when Schembechler stepped aside at Michigan to become the president of the Detroit Tigers, and the finish by Alan Edwards. And yet Schembechler stayed on to coach Michigan in a bowl game before he left.
Well, I just have trouble differentiating from sports there. Edwards doing it like Doug and his brother Steve. Doug with the Hawks, Steve down at Miami. Quite a basketball family. Miami senior. Shaky Rodriguez, his coach, just took that Florida International job, I'm told.
Yes, he did. Left Miami Senior High School to take over at Florida International for Bob Weltnick. Did Shaky Rodriguez, who was the coach of Alan Edwards at Miami Senior High School.
Well, the storied history of Kentucky, huh? Rupp, Joe B. Hall, Eddie Sutton, and Rick Pitino. And they love their hoops. And Bill Frieder's got them turned on in his city. And Lute Olson alive in the desert a few years back.
And a three-pointer out of the corner for Ron Riley. 92-66 Kentucky as the game ticks down to 1:10 remaining. Harrison, another three. Now, if you're the coach, do you mind that your team is still launching these threes when you're ahead by almost 30, or do you just let the boys have some fun?
Well, I think he just does the same with the subs as he does the starters. I mean, they want him to play hard. Tough to come in and play this team. There's so many things they do well defensively. And then the way they space you on the floor as this pass hits the floor. You can't coordinate your defense easily.
The Chevrolet players of the game. Mario Bennett for Arizona State, 16 points, 8 rebounds. And Tony Delk, 26 points, 5 shy of his career high, and 5 rebounds. They are the Chevrolet players of the game. Delk went 11 for 18 from the field.
Now, neither coach is going to ask me, but we may see a little zone on Saturday. Both clubs tough as they space out and run their half-court offenses.
And stay tuned. We'll be sending you to the Connecticut-Maryland game when we're finished here. 25 seconds remaining. And a 25-point lead for Kentucky. So the matchup that many had been anticipating and many had been hoping for. Two tradition-rich programs, the two winningest in college basketball history, will go head-to-head for the right to go to the Final Four. Saturday, 6 Eastern time here in Birmingham on CBS Sports.
Well, I guess we got to wear tux, huh? It's the feeling you get. Two clubs that have a lot of paraphernalia up at the Hall of Fame in Springfield. And two rich, storied histories. Go back to Carolina 57 with Frank McGuire winning with Tommy Kearns up at center, Bobby Cunningham, Pete Brennan, Joe Quigg. Some pretty good performers. Dean brought that legacy onward. And Rick taking over from Rupp did the same.
You didn't leave any of your golfing buddies out of that sentence, did you? Check your list and make sure you got them all in.
I forgot Mo and Brown and Billy Cunningham.
Burton on a long three. The little consolation for Arizona State. Edwards threw it on the glass for Epps, and it does not count. An impressive win for Kentucky. They have now annihilated 3 opponents in this NCAA tournament. They win tonight by a score of 97-73 for Bill Raftery and Bob Lobel. Sean McDonough so long from Birmingham. Let's join Pat O'Brien.
All right, Sean, we'll see you guys Saturday for Kentucky and North Carolina. Let's take everybody out to Oakland, to the Coliseum, where Connecticut leads Maryland 65-51. 14:34 left in the game. Tim Ryan and Al McGuire courtside.
We have 14:26 to go here in the second half. UConn leading 65-51. Ray Allen rebounded. Mario Lucas. Simpkins.
Excuse me, Tim. Time to force it into Joe Smith.
And they tried it there. Went off his foot. It'll be UConn ball. 14:08 remaining in this half. And a great first half for Donnie Marshall of the Huskies. 16 points he's continued here in the second. And the up and down game we expected here. Both these teams on the run. Of course, that loss of Joe Smith by Maryland to 3 personals early in the first half has hurt their cause. And that's Smith rebounding.
Biggest problem that Maryland has is analyzing the alternating of defenses by Jim Calhoun.
He has shown them a lot of looks. Tip-in try by Rhodes misses. Lucas battles, but it's taken away by Kevin Ollie. Ollie to Donnie Marshall. Won't drop for him. Travis Knight on the follow, and he had it knocked loose.
That wasn't on Joe Smith that time. I think Simpkins again reached in.
Right. Second personal. 65-51 UConn lead. Earlier this evening here at the Oakland Coliseum Arena, UCLA ousted the number 5 seed in the West, Mississippi State, in a rout, and they await the winner of this contest between number 3 seed Maryland, number 2 Connecticut. Travis Knight will be at the line for the Huskies. Jim Calhoun has shown a lot of defenses and a lot of players, mixing in Eric Hayward when Knight took a couple of early fouls in the first half. Got a third center in for a few minutes. Rudy Johnson, Brian Fair, and Kirkland King have all seen time.
It moves Fair in with confidence. Fair was a starter for many years.
Travis Knight connects 66-51. 9 points for Travis Knight, the junior from Sandy, Utah.
Settled back into his own. Now you gotta have patience, Maryland.
Bristol in the backcourt now for the Terrapins. There's Lucas outside. He can shoot from 3. Wayne Bristol cross to Simpkins. Simpkins goes for 3. Off the back iron. Smith with the rebound. Hit, missed the pass. 11th turnover by Maryland. Rhodes with 12 points, the leading scorer for the Maryland Terrapins, and 21 points for Donnie Marshall of UConn. We mentioned Smith missing much of the first half in foul trouble. Marshall driving the lane. And he gets it. Donnie Marshall.
Boy, that first step is not only is it quick, it's powerful.
The emotional leader, the senior on this team, who has a lot of personal stuff at stake. He wants to get to Seattle. He wants to be there with the University of Washington, who didn't recruit him heavily enough, he felt. He's from Federal Way, Washington. His family waiting there, hoping to see him in a Final Four. Steal by UConn. Fair. Marshall again.
Donnie Marshall.
25 points for Donnie Marshall. Timeout with 12:20 remaining. 70-51 UConn.
When I am alone in the half-light of the canyon, all existence fades to a being with my soul and memories. And the sounds of the big Blackfoot River, and the hope that a fish will rise.
Migration of the species. It is the cultural, financial, and industrial focus of France and major.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all
Multimedia is here, and NEC is making it more powerful than ever. With sharper monitors, faster CD-ROM readers, and advanced networking capabilities. See, hear, and feel the difference. NEC.
There's a place in the Big Apple where New Yorkers rush to be on the cutting edge. It's Jean-Louis David, a touch of Paris right in the middle of Manhattan. So if you're looking for a new you, drop in anytime at any of their locations. You don't need an appointment, just your Visa card. Because when it comes to your hair and Jean-Louis David, American Express just won't cut it. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Rumors have been flying lately about a takeover. Then, a mysterious email went out this morning.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on me to sell. I mean, big companies like to eat successful little companies for lunch. To stay independent, we need a blockbuster. I have a plan. I want to bid on Marcus Belfry's next book. Reggie, hook in a network MCI business. Get on the internet. Gather all the information on Belfry's last book. Ellen, I want you to get in touch with Marcus Belfry.
She's sure to be a winner in Las Vegas. This vacation is free, and she'll show you how to do it. 48 Hours returns next Thursday.
Marshall knows that Joe Smith here has 3 personal fouls. He drops his head, and he just powers in. Kiss off the glass. Next time down the court is a trailer on the fast break. Again, into the basket. Constantly going to the basket. Going to the basket.
A 10-zip run by UConn in the last 350, and Donnie Marshall's been a big part of their offense right from the start. And as he goes, UConn goes. In their 27 victories, he averaged 16-4, shooting 48% from the field. In the 4 losses, he was off, averaging 9-3 a game at 29%. Hip lobbing in for Joe Smith. Outside for X-Ray Hip.
Shot on the 10.
This is Joe Smith. The turnaround is good.
Joe Smith.
12 points for Smith.
Maryland has to gamble more on defense. They're playing too much of a face-up defense here, man-to-man. They got to come up with traps and alternating different 2-on-1s.
Ryan Fair, Ray Allen, Kirkland King, Travis Knight, Daron Sheffer, the lineup for UConn. Jim Calhoun can go 4 players deep beyond his starters, and in fact, he's had even one more than that with Willingham.
That was a charge. Committed to the air. Sheffer a little bit too soon.
That's his third. Third personal on Daron Sheffer.
The foul, number 11, Daron Sheffer.
Ryan Fair motioning Sheffer up.
Second team foul.
3-quarter press, and now Sheffer goes out. Ollie comes in, so Ollie and Fair will be the guards for Connecticut.
Simpkin can take the ball up by himself. Leave him alone. He'll take it all by himself. Get away, Booth. He can take it all by himself. Get down low and work some picks for Joe Smith in that inside the tight zone.
Hip, cross court. Rhodes outside again to Simpkins. Rhodes for Simpkins driving.
Waved off the basket. Fouls before the shot.
Foul before the shot.
Ryan Fair gets called for the personal. King goes out. Donnie Marshall returns. Kirkland King, the sophomore from Baton Rouge. Donnie Marshall, the senior from Federal Way, Washington, a suburb of Seattle. X3 Hip. Nice move. Inside. Underneath Allen. Fair back the other way. Allen punching it.
Good
Marshall
save.
keeps it alive. Good save to Ollie. Ryan Fair. Ray Allen. Soft touch on the jumper for 2 more. 72-55, 16 points for Ray Allen. Try for 3 by Booth. No good, but Smith on the follow from Rose.
Right back at you after you score. Great save by Smith. Excellent effort. Great save. Marshall's arguing on it. So's Coach Jim Calhoun. But give Joe Smith credit. He can down court. Here's the shot from underneath, and Joker's up and gives it a fantastic dunk. And after you score, Connecticut is coming at you.
Smith ran a long way, and here he is inside again, and he's fouled by Travis Knight.
There's Smith breaking his chops, getting back on defense, trying to set an example. Gets his hand, just touches a little bit. Marshall tickles it. Good call by the refs. And that's with the hurt hip. But it's time for Joe Smith to throw away all caution. Forget you got 3 fouls, Joe. Now or never. You're in the bell lap. 10 minutes left. You get down by 15.
Smith at the line. Amazing grace and speed for a 6'10". A man like Joe Smith.
Could be in little pain here, a lot of pain, but as Vince Lombardi, the football coach from Green Bay years ago, said, we got to play with pain.
16 points now for Smith. Had only 6 in the first half. On the bench with 3 personals, and he gets a rest now. Booth and Hip, Kovarik, Rhodes, and Lucas, the lineup for the Terrapins, down 72-59 with 9:38 to go.
Got their quicker team in there now, the Terrapins. They have to gamble like that, Tim. They got to do more of it, and they got to continue the gamble. Obviously, they want the ball in Ray Allen's hands.
UConn with Allen, Sheffer, and a foul on Lucas against Hayward. Hayward, Marshall, Ollie, Allen, and Sheffer, the lineup for UConn.
4 fouls on each team in the second half.
First personal on Lucas. Hayward gave it one move and then made the shot on the second one. Underneath Lucas, 10 points for Hayward. And a good job when he comes in for Knight. Johnny Rhodes. 3-pointer, 15 points for Rose.
When she drops that head a little bit, he wants to go all the way.
Donnie Marshall and Ollie pulling up perfectly.
Kevin Ollie, 12.
First basket for Kevin Ollie. Mario Lucas, he's short.
Maryland has to hit the offensive boards.
Donnie Marshall back out to Sheffer. Ollie with Kovarik watching him closely.
But allow him the room, son. He's too quick for you. There he goes.
So Kovarik picks up the foul. Now McGuire saw it coming, the sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina. As Ollie put the move on him.
15 foul. Joe Smith.
Smith back in. Bristol comes in along with him. Wayne Bristol, number 31, a senior guard from Beltsville, Maryland.
Lucas got to keep his eyes right now on Marshall. If Marshall gets the ball, he's going to take Lucas.
Ray Allen using Marshall's screen, missing. Rebound by Joe Smith.
It's not there. Wait for Joe. Wait for Joe.
Allen with a hand on it. Maryland ball. We've got 7:53 to go. Second half. UConn 76-62.
I stopped by my Cadillac dealer and looked at the new DeVille. Impressive. DeVille's the roomiest front-wheel drive luxury car in the world. I like that. Only DeVille has the airbag system to help protect all 3 front seat passengers. That's good. And DeVille's only $489 a month. Now that got me excited. I looked at the competition.
Current Cadillac owners, take this to heart. A new DeVille is only $489 a month for 30 months with $1,800 down. See your Cadillac dealer today.
There's something you might not know about 1-800-COLLECT. You might think it's the cheapest way to make a collect call. But it's not. You might think it's AT&T. But it's not. So, get to know the code. 1-800-CALL-ATT. It always costs less than 1-800-COLLECT. And everyone knows they wouldn't call it 1-800-CALL-ATT if it wasn't from your true voice.
Look inside today's PCs. You'll find something pretty amazing.
the Intel Pentium processor. It gives PC software more life, more action, more energy. So if you want your PC software to really move, make sure your PC has the Intel Pentium processor.
So come on, baby, squeeze me tight. Well, don't you want your baby to be alright? Baseman say, oh, you really think, yeah. Come on, give me that love. All I need is that love. Good, good, I love it, baby.
Chuck Norris on the trail of a kidnapper. And a psychic help Walker before it's too late.
Now it's your turn.
Walker, Texas Ranger, Saturday.
Connecticut seems to feel a little underappreciated with their success the last couple of seasons. Well, look at that number. Right behind Arkansas, the defending national champion. And that is coming into tonight's game.
This fellow doesn't get too much paint, and especially in a conference where you have John Thompson and Jim Boeheim and, well, even Luke Conaseco, who left 2 years ago.
Joe Smith, 18 points. 12 here in the second half. Scheffler double team.
Triangle trap up close.
And Simpkins fouling Hayward.
I don't think Joe Smith should have moved up that time. Allowed Hayward free underneath. Good foul by Simpkins.
76-64. The number 2 seeds in the West, the Huskies of Connecticut. They beat Tennessee, Chattanooga, then Cincinnati to get here into the Sweet 16. Maryland beating Gonzaga and Texas. Hayward at the line for the Huskies.
One of the things that hurts Maryland, they have no timeouts left. I mean, you're trying to make a run and have no timeouts left. That hurts you. But the timeouts were called properly because Connecticut was having runs at that time. And Williams figures out better stop him.
12 points for Hayward, who's played awfully well. Sharing time with Travis Knight, who had a couple of early fouls. Lucas for hip, he missed. Ray Allen. Donnie Marshall in the paint. Off the back rim, and looked like Joe Smith got poked in the eye there accidentally.
It was accidental. I think Marshall tried to take a swing at the ball and caught Joe Smith in the eye.
Been a tough night for the big man.
Watch it in here. Joe has the inside position. He's number 32. Here comes Marshall driving. Goes over to try to block, and I watch him reach him right there. And scratch across the eye. They touch hands at half court just now, so he knows it wasn't intentional. There it is again from another angle. Good camera work.
78-64. Maryland needs a run. 7:02 to go. Turnover. Ollie the other way for the Huskies. Slows it down.
Everything that's on the floor, every garbage ball, Connecticut's beaten Maryland to it.
Allen to Ollie. Scheffer. Foul off the ball. And it's Exree Hip.
The foul, number 4, Exree Hip.
17 foul.
4th personal, 7.
That's 4 on Hip.
15, John Burler's back.
Bristol goes out and Rhodes comes in for Maryland. Ray Allen sent to the line. Ray Allen, one of the top players in the Big East. Had a 32-point game against Boston College, 31 points twice, 24 against Cincinnati in the second round of the tournament. Already has 1,000 points as a sophomore at UConn. Booth picks up his second personal, sending Hayward to the line for UConn.
Second personal, the 8th team foul. Eric Hayward at the line, 1-1.
Getting where the clock is very, very important. Well, it's only but it's a 14-point spread.
Hip rebounded for Simpkins. Simpkins to Rhodes. Rhodes baseline jumper is good. And Hip stepped in front of Ray Allen, gave him a good smack, but he picks up his 5th personal. X3 Hip.
Hightower was right on top of that call, was standing there. Hip came in a little bit low. I don't know if he allowed Allen to come down. There's Hip right there. There's a signal. He stepped in. Hip's a little bit upset with it. Doesn't say anything. Takes a long walk to the bench.
13 points and 5 rebounds for X3 Hip.
That's the 9th team foul.
So Hip will leave. Allen goes to the free throw line. The Terrapins have Joe Smith, Simpkins, Booth, Rhodes, and Wayne Bristol.
Extremely quick team out there now, Tim, and they will keep pressure up court every time. The Maryland club.
Allen with 16 points. Allen, 74% free throw shooter, misses. Simpkins back quickly for Maryland. Rhodes, Johnny Rhodes. 19 points for Rhodes. And Bristol picks up a foul.
I don't want to think that I'm favoring one and the other, but Bristol did ride him out that time on the sideline. Same place where they got Hips a moment before on the sideline. Here's the basket underneath. Immediately they kick the ball out. They come right at you, and there's the ride out.
So Sheffer will have 2 shots. Maryland has 10 team fouls. 79-68. Huskies will be hard to catch.
Sheffer did an excellent job today with a bad ankle.
12-point lead. UCLA awaits the winner Saturday afternoon here from the Oakland Coliseum Arena. The regional championship. And a trip to the Final Four.
Wayne Simpkins, 10.
That game. Simpkins has 5, 10-point margin.
Kept his dribble alive. Reset. There's now a Marshall or Allen game offensively.
Sheffer to Ollie, and Ollie hits. Kevin Ollie.
12, Ollie.
4 points for Ollie. Simpkins goes the distance. Smith with the rebound and the follow.
32, Smith.
20 points for Joe Smith. Getting it going here in the second half for Maryland. After a 6-point first half in foul trouble. 10-point margin UConn. 4:57 to go.
Need some stoppers here. You're right in this ball game. 10-point spread. A little bit too early to work the clock, Connecticut.
Ray Allen.
Oh, unbelievable. Came off a pick set by Knight down low.
18 points, approaching his 20.7 average. The alley-oop is intercepted by Ray Allen. Kevin Ollie going hard. Donnie Marshall, 27 points.
Joe Smith seems to be running out of gas.
Simpkins finds a hole. 86-74.
10, Simpkins.
You better be in shape if you're going to take on UConn.
Foul call up behind the ball.
They're relentless. They stay at you. And after you score, they're more dangerous than ever. You just make a score, and all of a sudden they're right on your back, going back down court.
Rhodes picked up the personal, sending Kevin Ollie to the line for 2 shots as we're in the super bonus.
UConn can still give 2 more fouls before the 1-on-1.
Some fans starting to head to the exits here with 4:09 to go. UCLA awaits the winner Saturday afternoon. 87-74. 5 points now for Ollie. The number 2 seeded Connecticut Huskies trying to get to 28-4 for the year. And more importantly, into the Elite 8. 88-74.
If it ends up being Connecticut against UCLA, you better have 3 digits in that scoring area.
Fortunately, they do, since the Warriors play here. Should be a high-scoring battle. It does look like it will be the Huskies of Connecticut, barring a spectacular run here by a team that appears to be running out of gas, the Maryland Terrapins. 88-74, under the 4-minute mark. Rhodes for 3, big one. Huge basket by Johnny Rhodes. 22 points for him.
They need a turnover. Not fouls, they need turnovers. This is too good of a foul shooting team.
And it's Kovarik picking up his 3rd. The sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Nice move. He has to reach in and ollie.
Kevin Ollie at the line for the Huskies.
UConn showing a lot of weapons here tonight. The big guns doing their thing. Donnie Marshall and Ray Allen. Excellent center play when Travis Knight got into some early foul problems. Eric Hayward doing a good job, and excellent backcourt play. You have to like Sheffer and Ollie back there, Coach McGuire.
Well, a lot of people thought that UConn peaked too soon in the year. They did go into a drought at the end, kind of a semi-drought, but they seem to be right back in form now, and they're running.
Ollie, 8 points and a 90-77 lead with 3:47 to go. UConn in control.
Note to all the reigning men.